Hi everyone, this is Anna Viriano from Perfect Resonance Natural Health Counseling, here with a video version of a beautiful recipe. It's salmon wrapped in pancetta and fresh sage. So delicious and so easy to make. A great meal to serve at a dinner party. Or just serve yourself. Why wait for a dinner party? So you'll need 4 ingredients, about a 500-gram piece of salmon with the skin off. This is an organic Norwegian salmon I saw at the store. It was great. About 16 slices of pancetta, some fresh sage, and a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. The first thing you'll want to do is cut the salmon into 4 equal pieces, as this recipe serves 4 people. And then comes what I would call the fiddly part. The fiddly part of this recipe is wrapping each of those beautiful pieces of salmon in the pancetta and sage. So here we go. You'll need a flat surface to do this on. You could do it on your kitchen counter. I could have done it on my kitchen counter, but I didn't want to get it all messy. And I just had this handy dandy slab of black slate. It was a leftover tile from a reno. And here I go, placing the pancetta on the surface. You'll typically need 4 pieces of pancetta for each piece of salmon. And you want to lay them down so that they overlap and make a little sheet, a little square sheet of pancetta. You'll see this last piece is a bit fiddly, kind of fell apart, but that's okay. Just pretend it's a puzzle and put the pieces back together. And once you have the pancetta laid down, you take your piece of salmon, lay it on the far end, I guess the end that's closest to you, and then you put the sage on. And you can put as much or as little as you like. I usually put 2 or 3 pieces. You can overlap them if you like. Here, I guess I decided that I wanted a bigger piece of sage. And so put the furry side, you know what I mean? The furry side of the sage up, so the bottom part of the leaf down. And then you're just going to roll that baby up. And don't worry if the pancetta, falls apart a little bit. Just do your best to put it back into place. Some pieces might stick to the surface that you're rolling on. That's okay. Just nudge them along, put it all into place. And when you're done, set it aside with the sage part up. I'm just making sure all the pancetta is in place here. And give it a gentle little squeeze. Make sure it's all holding together. And you repeat until you've got all of your pieces of salmon rolled up. I guess really the trickiest part of this is to get the right thickness of the pancetta. The first time I made this recipe, the slices were so thin that they were falling apart and it was really, really difficult to work with them. So the second time I made them thicker and then they were, yes, easier to work with. However, pancetta is quite salty. It's what provides the seasoning to this dish. You'll notice there's no salt added, no pepper added. I suppose you could add pepper if you like, but I don't like pepper on my salmon. I find salmon has a very delicate taste. So before you spring for 16 pieces of sliced pancetta, ask the deli person to slice 1 piece for you and ask them to show it to you. And you'll want it to be thin enough so that it might sort of be falling apart a little tiny bit, but more or less it should stay together in a piece. And don't worry if you don't get it right the first time, it's still going to be delicious. So here we go. I've rolled up another piece and you're just going to do this process again. I often prepare these a few hours in advance and then I will wrap them individually in some wax paper or parchment paper or saran wrap and put them in the fridge until I'm ready to cook them. I find that makes everything kind of stick together a little bit better. It makes the pancetta stick together. Here's what they look like after I've wrapped them up. I actually just used those thin sheets of paper that were between the layers of pancetta from the deli package. And then you'll put the oil in a nonstick pan, heat it to just below medium. This is a ceramic pan that I used. And you'll leave each side of the salmon down for 2 minutes. So flip it, all 4 sides have to be cooked. So 2 minutes on each side is perfect. And I like to add some sage into the pan at the end for some extra flavor. And also it crisps up beautifully and you can use it as a garnish as I've done here. Crispy sage is delicious. I've served it with roasted cauliflower and roasted asparagus. A great meal. I hope you'll try this recipe out, share it with your friends, and enjoy. Anna Veriano, Perfect Resonance Natural Health Counseling, partnering for a healthier, more vibrant you.